Have you ever wondered how childhood experiences can silently shape a person's emotions, relationships, and behavior for years? Childhood trauma is more common than many people realize, and psychology has revealed surprising facts about how early emotional pain affects the brain and personality. Trauma doesn't always come from dramatic events. Sometimes it grows slowly through neglect, constant criticism, emotional rejection, or living in fear for a long time. In this video, we'll explore 8 powerful psychology facts about childhood trauma that may completely change the way you understand human behavior. Fact number 1. Childhood trauma can change brain development. Psychologists have discovered that repeated stress during childhood can actually affect how the brain develops. When a child constantly experiences fear, emotional pain, or instability, the brain stays in survival mode for long periods of time. This can affect areas responsible for memory, emotional control, and decision-making. Children who grow up in stressful environments may become highly alert to danger even when they are safe. As adults, they may struggle with anxiety, overthinking, or emotional reactions that feel difficult to control. The brain adapts to survive trauma, but those survival patterns can remain long after the danger is gone. Fact number 2. Many adults don't realize they experience trauma. One of the most surprising facts about childhood trauma is that many people don't recognize it in themselves. Trauma isn't only physical abuse or extreme violence. Emotional neglect, constant criticism, feeling unloved, or growing up around conflict can also deeply affect a child. Some adults believe their childhood was normal because they became used to emotional pain. Others minimize their experiences because someone else had it worse. Psychologists say trauma is not measured only by the event itself, but by how deeply it affected the child emotionally. A child who never felt safe, supported, or valued may carry invisible emotional wounds into adulthood without even realizing it. Fact number 3. Childhood trauma can affect relationships. People who experience trauma during childhood often struggle with trust and emotional connection later in life. Some become afraid of abandonment and constantly seek reassurance. Others avoid emotional closeness completely because vulnerability feels dangerous. Psychologists explain that early relationships teach children what love and safety feel like. If those experiences were painful, confusing, or unpredictable, the brain may connect love with fear or rejection. This is why some trauma survivors push people away while secretly wanting connection at the same time. Their mind is trying to protect them from being hurt again. Fact number 4. Trauma can cause people to become people pleasers. Many children who grow up in stressful homes learn to avoid conflict by pleasing others. They become extremely sensitive to other people's emotions and try to keep everyone happy. Over time, this survival strategy can turn into chronic people-pleasing in adulthood. These individuals may struggle to say no, fear disappointing others, or feel guilty for putting themselves first. Psychologists believe this behavior often develops because the child learned that safety depended on keeping others calm or satisfied. While people-pleasing may seem kind on the surface, it can hide deep emotional exhaustion and fear of rejection. Fact number 5. Childhood trauma can affect physical health. Trauma does not only affect emotions. Research shows that long-term stress during childhood can also impact physical health later in life. People with unresolved trauma may have higher risks of sleep problems, headaches, digestive issues, weakened immune systems, and chronic stress-related illnesses. This happens because the body remains in a constant state of tension for years. Stress hormones continue flowing through the body even when no immediate danger exists. Psychologists often describe trauma as something the body remembers, even when the mind tries to forget. Fact number 6. Some trauma survivors become extremely independent. Not everyone responds to trauma with emotional dependence. Some people go in the opposite direction and become overly independent. Children who felt unsupported often learn that relying on others leads to disappointment. As adults, they may refuse help, hide their emotions, and handle everything alone. While independence can look strong from the outside, psychologists say extreme self-reliance can sometimes be a protective response to past emotional pain. These individuals may secretly struggle with trust because they learn early in life that they could only depend on themselves. Fact number 7. Trauma memories can be triggered unexpectedly. Trauma doesn't always stay in the past. Certain sounds, smells, places, or situations can suddenly trigger emotional reactions connected to old memories. Sometimes people don't even understand why they feel anxious, angry, or emotional in certain moments. The brain may react automatically because it associates something in the present with past danger. For example, a tone of voice, loud argument, or feeling ignored might unconsciously remind someone of painful childhood experiences. Psychologists explain that trauma triggers happen because the brain stores emotional memories very deeply, especially during childhood. Fact number 8. Healing from childhood trauma is possible. Perhaps the most important psychology fact is that healing is absolutely possible. The brain has the ability to change and adapt throughout life, a process known as neuroplasticity. With self-awareness, supportive relationships, therapy, healthy habits, and emotional healing, people can slowly break free from survival patterns created during childhood. Healing doesn't mean forgetting the past. It means learning that the past no longer controls your present. Many trauma survivors become incredibly empathetic, emotionally intelligent, and resilient once they begin understanding themselves more deeply. Recovery takes time, but psychology shows that people are capable of healing, growing, and building healthier lives no matter what they experienced as children. Childhood trauma can leave invisible scars that affect emotions, behavior, relationships, and even physical health. But understanding these psychology facts helps explain why people react the way they do and reminds us that emotional struggles often have deeper roots. The experiences we go through as children shape us in powerful ways, but they do not have to define our future forever. If you found these psychology facts interesting, don't forget to like the video, subscribe to the channel, and share this with someone who might find it meaningful. Which fact surprised you the most? Let us know in the comments below.